Mary had undergone a change. It was an experience shattering to the very roots of her being. For hours after it happened, she was unable to speak. She could scarcely even breathe. It was so inexplicable, so dazing, so frightening, that for the time she could not force herself to tell even Joseph. How could she ask him to believe that she had actually known such a wonder? Yet she had known it. Without one instant's preparation, she had walked into it immediately after that tender good night at the gate. The hens and rooster were perched and asleep. The dog was out barking behind the garden, and the sheep and goats were dozing. Feeling a little chill, for the night was damp, Mary had crossed the lower floor inside the house and mounted to the inner terrace. As she went up the stairs to the platform, she realized that she was not alone. A tall figure was standing near the farther wall. A stranger, an odd and altogether different stranger. He seemed to stand in light where there was no lamp, and a kind of silvery mist enveloped him, as if the light were his cap and gown. Mary opened her mouth to speak, to demand who he was and what he wanted there, but he anticipated her with an unexpected greeting. "Hail, Mary." The voice was kind and fathomlessly deep. Such a voice as Mary had never heard before. Bass and yet tender. "Full of grace," the voice continued. Hail Mary? Full of grace. She felt embarrassed and even more frightened. "The Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women." She folded her hands and knew then how she was trembling in every muscle. The stranger saw. "Fear not, Mary." She bowed her head. She must not be afraid. She knew she could trust this deep and tender voice, but she could not still her quaking. She closed her eyes and listened to the astounding words the stranger was speaking to her. She had found grace with God. She would conceive in her womb and bring forth a son. "And you shall call his name Jesus." Jesus, he will be my son. Jesus, Jesus, Son of Mary, I shall bring forth a son and hold him in my arms, and sometimes I shall give him to Joseph to hold too. Her mind was a place of wild, bird-like thoughts, yet she must listen to all that the stranger continued to tell her. Her son, Jesus, was to have the throne of David his father. "And of all his kingdom there shall be no end." Then came her instant need for reality. Who this stranger was she did not know, yet the maiden who heard his words felt bound to question him. "How shall this be done?" she asked in a whisper, "seeing I know not a man?" His voice was lower and deeper still. "The Holy Ghost shall come upon you. The power of the Most High shall overshadow you, and the child which shall be born of you shall be called the Son of God." How could one little Nazareth girl take that all in? She looked up at him plaintively, her eyes half closed, her words coming so softly that she could hardly hear herself speak. "Behold, the handmaiden of the Lord. Be it done unto me according to thy word." The angel vanished, and Mary, swaying and murmuring, sank to her knees, closed her eyes, and wept